which is something that a lot of people who look at the RSS, see it as a highly centralized organization where everybody has to follow through what the leadership thinks or does. Now, it is true when the RSS comes to a decision on something, they do expect people to follow that. But the interesting thing to me was the process of coming to that decision, because it's always by consensus.
Yes.
That, before they come to a decision. So some issues are always put on the side. For example, the issue of labor was one issue that has created some differences. And so they have put that aside. And what's happened is, instead of the central government, now that the BJP is in power, and even when it had first in power with Vajpayee, they had some problems with the way that others looked at, the responsibility of labor in the larger Indian context. I'll give you a humorous example of that. If you look at the latest book that we did on the RSS, it has men in long pants.
Yes, yes.
Whereas the first book has people in short pants.
Yes.
And the question is, why the difference? It took them years to come to a decision on that. And they couldn't come to a decision until there was a kind of unanimous opinion, because in the world of organizations and ideas, actually clothing counts.
Yes.
What you wear counts. And people were saying, no, we've been doing this since 1925 or 1928, I guess, is when they introduced the uniform. And so to change it would create problems for some people. Well, they've changed it. And has it created problems? Did they lose members because of it? If they may have lost a few, but not many, people went along. And in the modern era, the short pants, were looked at as something young people wear, not something men wear. So, and then the other thing is participation of women in the RSS, and they've got a complex response to that. There is a women's equivalent of the RSS, and that's been around for a long time. In fact, Hedgavar was helped to respond to encourage the lady who was responsible for that to organize something like that. A rather remarkable lady, by the way, who was a widow with children, who was not from a wealthy family, but yet she devoted herself and organized her life in a way that was kind of inspiring for many women, particularly in Maharashtra initially. And to a certain extent among Brahmin women, though it moved far beyond that when it began to be organized. So you had an organization that you had a certain women's wing that not all, but most of the affiliated groups of the RSS have women participation. Now the RSS is male as such, but it works with women on projects. And in the US and some other countries, the shakas actually combine men and women.